Hello, and welcome to my version of Remote Open House. I'm Kelly Neidig, and I'm your student's exercise physiology teacher this semester. It is a semester-long course. We'll be back in PE next semester, but in this semester, they will take exercise phys as their PE credit. Let me explain. A little bit about myself, and I typically don't share too much about my own personal self, but I am a proud fur baby mom of a few dogs, a few cats, and fish, minus the fur on the fish. But this is my 20th year in education, and I do teach a variety of courses at LT over the course of time. I've been at North Campus, I've been at South Campus, and like I said, have almost taught a little bit of everything. I was a health teacher for a few years at South, and then here I am back at North. When I started my career at LT, I was at North doing exercise physiology. I hopped to health education and hopped on back to PE and X-Phys again, and I'm happy to do so. Our X-Phys class actually is a level 4 course. It does have a few topics that go a bit deeper than the regular PE course, and the rigor and the content, as you can tell, is only that much more intense, if you will, in the world of PE. But fitness experiences will be assigned throughout the semester, but this is mostly a cognitive class with anatomy, cardiovascular and respiratory systems. We do talk about cell respiration, and some of these things might sound intimidating to the students, but in actuality, even if this is their first taste of this type of content, they're going to be head and shoulders above the next student next year when they are off into college, maybe taking their intro exercise physiology class or getting into their other disciplines. Again, anatomy, you got to know it in a lot of these educational disciplines, whether you learn it now or later. And the more repetitive sometimes anatomy is to you, the more you get it and the more you retain. And such is true for biology. Although we mirror a lot of what's going on in anatomy and physiology, human anatomy, et cetera, across the street, if you will, we put it in a kind of an exercise sort of focus. So we narrow the focus of the student to how these systems interplay in the world of exercise. And that's kind of the specialty of the class. We do work in depth about training plans, how to work out, what it means to work out at altitude. What does that do to your blood chemistries? What does tapering mean in the world of fit prescriptions and detraining, so to speak? We talk about fitness testing as if they were PE teachers their own selves. There is a job for a clinical exercise physiologist, but if we wanted to dive further still into fitness testing, you would find a variety of careers that still lean on fitness testing as an industry standard, as something to look to. For right or for wrong, fitness testing, your student this semester will play the role of instructor versus the role of subject, if you will. And we do finalize the semester or round it out, if you will, with nutrition, which I could argue is talked about all semester long. Here's some vintage footage of our spirometry lab. We did an orthostatic blood pressure lab where we take blood pressure in different poses, if you will, for lack of a better term. And that's the middle picture there is our TriFit center at North Campus. And our spirometry lab, yes, on the far right is a picture of one of our wet spirometers where we measure total lung capacity. We do have labs and class activities, and sometimes class activities do include workouts, and sometimes they include like hydrostatic weighing, which we do at the end of the semester. And we like hands-on approaches with everything, ideally, but we know that that's necessarily possible with remote. So we are trying, Ms. Murphy and myself, we are trying very hard to mirror the curriculum and get the same type of experience your student would get outside of being in school, inside of our exercise physiology room 183 at North Campus. We really are trying to make it as applicable to X-Phys as we possibly can. Some general grading practices do include Infinite Campus, and that is my grade book, my record keeping device. Although Canvas is a great place to organize formatives, practice assignments, if you will. My Infinite Campus, please be aware that it is organized by the unit. You get a letter grade for the unit after the summative test and a few summative labs, if we have labs that unit. Or rather formative, and our formative practice, so to speak, just means it's a non-graded assignment. Although in a perfect world you're doing it, it might be an indicator that you didn't do enough formatives or practice situations when you get to the summative and you don't get the score that you'd like or the letter grade that you'd like. So we do offer a test retake opportunity following the LTHS guidelines, but we are using an A through F in our grade book. So you might see some formative assessments start to pop up with little flags on there as turned in or missing. For example, our bones and muscles. Our first coloring assignment is due next week, and I look forward to starting to solidify grades for these students as they're doing so well in this remote setting. Kudos to them. It's a really difficult time for everybody, and some are just doing so well. I wish I could invite you on to my Zoom sessions, and the ways that we're learning are just different. But I'm learning to accept them at the age of 43. We're still doing our labs, we're still having unit exams, we're still having fitness experiences, and lastly, our fitness project will round out the semester, but we'll have units. You'll get a letter grade for that unit and practice along the way. This is a typical remote learning week schedule. I threw in week 3, the present week that I'm typically teaching or currently teaching, where Mrs. Murphy teaches ex-phys period 2, whereas I'm period 6. And we follow the same curriculum where we're good friends in the division. She happens to be my assistant division chair. She's my boss. And we collaborate all the time about what's going on in both classes. How can we reach the kids? What does a live Zoom session look like as opposed to asynchronous? And this is a Canvas page. This is how I organize my week. And all of these blue words are hyperlinks, and it takes students directly to that assignment. So really Canvas is what they should be logging on to every day. And I'm sure same is true for all of their classes. If you do have questions, concerns, comments throughout the semester, please contact me. In this present day, I think email is best. You'll probably hear that from a lot of teachers, but thanks so much for viewing the video, and I look forward to your student this semester. We're off to a great start, and I couldn't tell you how excited I am. But thanks everyone, enjoy, and until the next time we talk, take care.